moment, more than 9,000 foreclosed homes are up for sale across Washington state, with the majority of them here on the western part of the state. And even more homeowners are struggling to keep their homes from joining that list. Some people are finding relief, however, through mortgage mediation with Washington state's Foreclosure Fairness Act. And here with more about how the process works and to share some recent success stories, please welcome Jonathan Smith, attorney and founder of Advantage Legal Group.
All right.
Welcome back. You always have good stories to tell because they have happy endings. First of all, give us a quick overview of mortgage mediation.
Well, you know, a lot of people are still struggling to save their homes with the holidays approaching. A lot of people now have equity they didn't have before. Rents are rising. Right. They can't even qualify to rent. They're desperate to save their homes. We at Advantage Legal Group use a combination of mortgage modification, mortgage mediation, litigation, bankruptcy, and others methodologies to help people hang on to their homes and apply for and obtain a modification. And we do that all the time. The mortgage mediation process is a Washington state program overseen by the Washington State Department of Commerce. Once you go into it, you cannot ask for it yourself, and the bank cannot ask for it for you. It has to be done through an attorney or housing counselor. But it often takes 6 to 9 months to go through the process, but it's very effective. And it forces them to come to the table and mediate something on your loan, and we got some great examples of those we do.
And you know, one thing though I was wondering is, I guess I thought innocently or naively thought that we are kind of over with a lot of the foreclosure struggles, that we had seen almost the peak, but there's still quite a few struggling.
Yes,
is it because of the rising rents and
it's a combination of a lot of people are coming back a second time. They got one 4 or 5 years ago, now they've had a new hardship, now they need another one. So we've got a lot of repeat clients, but we also have a lot of people who've been hanging in there for a long time, especially in outlying areas where the banks were not quick to foreclose, or people who involved bankruptcy and other methodologies.
So they let it go for a long time, and now we're seeing this again.
Correct.
Okay, you do have some pretty great stories, results. So let's start out with the first one. Specialized loan servicing. We're listing these by mortgage companies, but specialized loan servicing. You said this is your quote, you used every trick in the bag for this one.
Yes, we did. While past performance may not necessarily be indicative of future results, and everybody's situation is different, the legal disclosure, this was an SLS loan. These people had a $4,428 payment. We got the new payment down to $2,400. That was a reduction of $2,027 or 45 cents. Their original interest rate was 8.85%. Their new interest rate is 2%. They were 99 months behind when we got them the modification. That's 8 1/4 years. And we used bankruptcy, everything here to help them and finally get it. And the trustee was trying to foreclose, and we had to block them several times to keep them from foreclosing.
8 1/4 years.
Right.
Past due. Wow. Nation Star.
Nation Star, these people had a $1,527 a month mortgage. The new payment is $1,049. That's a reduction of $478 or 31%. Their original interest rate was 8.12. The new interest rate is 3. They were 15 months behind, which is more of normal range.
That's a normal for
more so, yeah.
Okay. And what you said, it takes about 6 to 9 months to finish a case. Okay.
Yeah. Once we put them into mediation, to come out at the other side with a modification can take 6 to 9 months.
Okay. All right. And Carrington Mortgage Services.
Right. Their original payment was $2,222. We got that down to $2,001. That was a reduction of $221 or 9%. Their original interest rate was 3.5. Their new interest rate is still 3.5, but they were 72 months behind. So you have all that arrearage tacked on there on top of it that had to be amortized over 40 years. So that's why, you know, it went down still.
And more than anything, they got to keep the house.
They have a home for the holidays.
Right. So even though we look at that and say, oh, $200, but they got to keep the house.
They got to keep their home. Yeah, a lot of people had a hardship and now they're making more money. They just couldn't get a modification even though they're making more money again.
Right. And who can pay all that arrears? Okay, one more, Shell Point.
Shell Point, this was a $4,800 a month mortgage. The new one is $3,154. That's a reduction of $1,647 or 34%. Again, their interest rate was 3.5% and their new interest rate is 3%, and they were 60 months behind, or 5 years behind when we got that done for them.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
So when you come out of something like this, Do you still have credit issues?
Oh, of course, because you've been behind. But once you get a modification done, now you're current again, and your credit will start improving again. And in 2 years, you can have it back up to maybe 680 or so. It does come back fairly quickly.
Okay.
The key is to stay in it. Then you can also refi in 2 years too.
Well, and how do you know if you're eligible for mortgage mediation?
Well, we give free consultations, so we invite our viewers, if they have any friends, family, coworkers, neighbors that they know are going through this, don't assume they know about this.
Right,
they
because you said
don't.
the banks aren't going to tell you.
They don't tell you. In fact, they use mortgage mediation in their scripts to try and convince people they already got it when they didn't. Give us a call. We give free initial consultations. Okay. Our number will come up. It's Advantage Legal Group, and we're happy to meet with you and go over your situation and give you your options and give you an idea of what your payment should be if you get the modification we think you should get.
So you're saying that banks might even tell you that you've had a mediation, but until you have seen an attorney and had this with the Fairness Act, you have not had a mediation.
Oh, they use that term all
okay.
the time. They try to convince you you've already had mediation when they do their little face-to-face meeting,
right.
but that's not mediation.
That's not part of the Washington Fairness Act.
Right.
Okay. And paperwork we need to have on hand when we call?
Oh, we always like to see your mortgage statement, to see where you're at with it, and then of course we're going to have to be looking at your income. So those kind of documents are going to be necessary because it's income dependent on what we're able to do for you. But we fight the good fight and we get it done for people.
Yeah, you do. 99 months. That's pretty incredible. So you can't. Yeah, you don't say never. All right. Thanks so much. For more information about mortgage mediation, Washington State's Foreclosure Fairness Act, and how Advantage Legal Group may help you, please call their toll-free number on your screen. We've also linked information on the New Day website. And we're back after a quick break.